Hi, Katie. Thanks for coming in this morning. We just wanted to talk with you. I know you're far along in your curriculum. You're in your externship, and just wanted to check in and kind of see how it's going. And, possibly talk about how Escoffier has changed your life.
Well, of course. It's great to be here.
Where are you from originally?
I'm from the DFW area, mainly Fort Worth, but I've been all around the Arlington, Plano area, so born and raised.
And how did you find out about Escoffier?
It's a funny story. Actually, I knew I wanted to go to pastry school, and I knew that eventually I wanted to do the culinary side as well. And so I had some bad experiences with a former school, and so I literally typed in Google culinary schools that are not cordon bleu, and this came up. So, and then I sent an email on to get information, and then you, Meredith, called me, and we went from there.
All right. So how did you choose what made you decide on Escoffier? What was it about our school that you felt was a good fit?
Well, there's a few main factors. One, I love the farm to table. I love the fact that you can not only prepare food, but see where your food came from and the local farmers, and actually not only that, but you get to hands-on grow some of the food that you're going to use and serve. There was that, and then there was the chef to student ratio. I really love the fact that each chef instructor that I cycled through knows me by my first and my last name, and they know every student for their hobby. They know them. I mean, it's great to be able to walk up to a campus that you graduated from. I can tell you right now, I'm going to come in here 2 years from now, and everybody's still going to know my name. And it's not because I'm some superstar. It's because that's how much you guys care. And it has that family aspect, and I love that.
So far, Katie, how has your experience here changed your life?
Where hasn't it? I have completely, I fell in love with this city. I wouldn't say uprooted, because that sounds bad, but I have moved my entire life to this city, not just because of this school, but because of the connections this school has got me. I am working a job that I started off as a dough girl, rolling dough balls, and I'm getting ready to become head baker. And in the first 3 weeks I worked there, I got a promotion. And it wasn't just because I have a passion for what I do, but it was the level of skills that I learned from this school. Not just from how to prepare dough from beginning to end, but how to carry myself and posture myself and get myself out into that career field. I cannot tell you how many connections I have made just from this school. My first week here, we had a career fair, and 3 of the employers that I met in that career fair, I talk to on a daily basis. I don't work for them, but it's just nice to have that connection and be able to go, oh, I know a guy that works in that. Oh, I know a girl that does that. And not only that, there was an office member who, she's unfortunately not here right now, but fortunately she's following her dreams, got me into being able to express my passion for food photography. I didn't even know that was a thing. I just thought people would get irritated when our food would come out. I'm like, hold on, don't eat yet. I have to take a picture. And then I come here and I find out she does that for a living, and I'm like, oh my God, you can do that? People can do that? That is so cool. So as of right now, I mean, that's not my biggest moneymaker, but I do it on the side. And so it's nice to be able to also have that connection. I can say, oh, I know someone who does food photography, and she's currently across the world right now. So that's cool.
Aw, so would you recommend this program?
Oh, absolutely. Every single time we've done a survey at the end of each block, one of the questions they ask is, would you recommend this program? And I've said absolutely every single time. And nobody paid me to say that. That's me being honest.
All right. Well, thank you, Katie, for coming in, and we'll be talking to you soon.
No problem.
All right.
Anytime.
All right. Do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Go ahead, Sonia.
My name is Maria Sonia Anuncio. I'm a culinary arts student.
I'm a junior.
My name is Roy Rodriguez. I'm from South Texas. Well, both of them South Texas, actually.
And when did you guys start school with us?
We began school in
September
September 29th of 2014.
And so far into the program, you guys are juniors, you've gone pretty far. What is it about the program that you like so far?
I like the discipline, the chefs. I like the creativity. I like the structure in our recipes, how we go from recipe reading to making our recipes, to producing and sharing our recipes.
Correct. For me, it's been a big thing about seeing the different styles that are presented to us. And every chef, every block has basically done a great job of showing a contrasting style to maybe the previous chef or the chef that we're going to have in front of us. And that allows us to get a well-rounded base because we don't know who we're going to be working for, what style we're going to be working under. So that's kind of nice here to see all this experience, and they are all teaching it in a different style. There's not one set rhythm that allows you to get too complacent.
All right, so you gain some knowledge from one chef, and then you pick from another and from another, and then you sort of make it your own.
Correct, and that's really the neat part, because then you see why there's different ways of doing things, because every chef has a reason for teaching it that style, and they don't contradict each other. They just say if there's more ways to do one thing, and you learned it that way for that reason, but this is why you're learning it for this reason. You know, so it's nice. It's nice to get such a broad foundation.
Good. And before you guys started Escoffier, how long had it been that you wanted to do culinary school, that you wanted to do a program like this?
I wanted to do it for so many years. I want to say more than, I've always loved culinary, I've always liked cooking, but I wanted to do it for more than 10 years that I wanted to enroll in a culinary school. But my nursing career, I couldn't put that on hold. Life changes, things change, and so there was the opportunity to start new and make a fresh start, and the culinary program gave me that opportunity. I remember when I first came in, Larry asked me, what is it that's, I said, I just need someone to take a chance on me. I need someone to give me a chance. And the chance has been given to me, and I feel that I've grown so much.
Yeah, I mean, for myself, I guess it's just, it's something I've always enjoyed doing as well. It's kind of like, I think all of us here in general were just we felt comfortable working in the kitchen or being in the kitchen. I was also in a very different field, and when I was leaving the military, I started evaluating what I wanted to do with myself and what would make me happy. And it's kind of like a blank slate, starting from scratch. It gave me the opportunity to do it, and I just decided to give Austin a shot and try the culinary scene here, which is perfect. And so far, Escoffier has been the best choice for that.
Okay. And how has being a student changed your life?
It's a new start. I haven't been a student in, I want to say 20 years. You learn something new, even in my previous career. You learn something new every day. But being a student, again, going to school and having to, go through the discipline of being a student and going to class, and it's just different at this point in my life, 20 years later.
And how has that transitioned into your personal life?
For myself, I guess it's just put me on. I kind of always had structure, obviously, with the military. I'm sure you did the same with the hospital. Yes. It just kind of put us on a different, I don't know, I guess it allowed us to use the skills we'd had before and hone them towards this field. And it's perfect, because for people like us that we have had structure, this works, because way I explain it to people, this isn't just a kitchen and a cooking school. It's like it's a boot camp. It's a cooking boot camp when you show up, and not to the sense that it's super tough, but in the sense that there's a lot of structure, and you have to follow that structure in order to be a successful student. The students that aren't that successful usually are having a hard time structuring themselves and their lives. We, as a whole, I guess we've incorporated into our entire life, which is what we've always done with our jobs. So for us, it's just played very nicely into how we function outside of here.
Good. And would you recommend the Escoffier Culinary Arts program to other people?
I personally would recommend it, but I would recommend it to people who are serious, because there is this is a tough school in terms of how it's taught and how it's led. And if you're not that serious about it, you're going to struggle and you're going to fall behind and you'll feel like an outsider, in my opinion.
It's an intense program. Like when they told us since the beginning, this is an intense program. You need to be serious. That is no joke.
100%
You come in
correct.
day one and they read out the expectations, and they don't stand down from that. And from one chef to another, different blocks go by, and the expectations are still set high. And if you're a person of structure, discipline,
Yeah.
respect, you not only do you wait for the school to set the high standards, you set up the high standards for yourself. And if you're not serious, then you realize, you start seeing that you start having problems.
So it's definitely a school we recommend, but it's not for the faint of heart or those that are
Yes.
kind of wanting to dabble. If you want to dabble and you stick to it here, you're going to be passionate by the time you leave.
Do you think during the admissions process I gave you guys the right expectations? Like if you're 100% passionate, you're going to be fine, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be intense, but it's the best time you'll ever have. And I say that
Yes.
to everybody. Would that be
Oh yeah,
does that
you were.
ring true now?
Yeah, I would say you were on point in the way you described it. I mean, you didn't leave any surprises out for me to discover when I was actually a student.
Yes, everything was pretty much like what you said was, it's happening, in other words.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And what made you guys choose Escoffier for your culinary program?
Well, I did my research, and yes, I looked at Le Cordon Bleu as well, but I wasn't as convinced as to when I came here personally, and I was greeted by you, Meredith, and the whole admission process, the how everything was explained to me in detail. There were no surprises, there was no fine print. Everything was explained to me to a T, and more than anything, the welcome that I got, the minute I walked in the door. That I said, this is the way it's going to be in school. This is what I can expect from my instructors. I want to be here.
Do you feel that same feeling in the kitchens?
Yes, I do.
I myself, almost along the same lines as terms of I did my research as well. I was extensive about it. I wanted to make sure I chose the right program. And I took, for me, the deciding factor was the two ways of conducting the classes in general. Just the way the teaching is done, because they do seem to have a more relaxed atmosphere, more laid back, and a lot more class time. Their program seems to be drawn out for whatever reasons. And when I came here, everything was explained. They did an awesome job of explaining what they had to offer, and so did you guys. And they just offered two different packages, you guys in general. And that was my whole thing. I wanted this atmosphere. I wanted the faster pace, the get in the kitchen, very small class time. I enjoyed that. An hour of class to an hour and a half at the most, and then we're in the kitchen cooking. I felt that they sat down a lot more and did a lot more theory, which is not what I needed to do. So for me, just the way the school is run and taught, that's what was the deciding factor. The fact that it is run in a fast-paced, just the way the industry works in general, I think this is more reflective of that.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys for coming in.
Awesome.
All right. I really do appreciate it. Hi, Julie. Thanks for coming in today.
Hi.
Hey, just wanted to do a check-in and see how everything was going. When did you start school with Escoffier?
I started in January of this year. We had discussed coming a little bit earlier, but it was in the middle of winter break, and I decided to go ahead and start with a bunch of them that I had already shadowed with. So officially I'm in my second block and loving it.
You like it so far? What do you like
do.
about it?
I love the one-on-one attention that you get from the chefs. Everybody is like a big family here, and the chefs really do care about you, and you're not just another number in their book. They really want you to succeed here, and everything that they can do to teach you not only what you've done wrong and how to fix it, but when you've done something right, they go in and say, okay, you've done this right, so think outside of the box and learn and go further. So it's not just textbook, this is how it's done, follow a recipe. It is, why is it done this way? How can it be done better? And how can you put your own stamp on it? So it's not just cookie cutter kind of cooking anymore.
Okay. And Julie, when we first started talking, it did take you a while to finally commit to coming to school, took a little massaging. What was that deciding factor that made you decide, I'm going to Austin, I'm going to Escoffier, and this is what I'm going to do?
Well, because I was doing a career change at the ripe age of 45, you don't just drop your life and decide, oh, I'm going to pursue something that I've dreamed about without, the consequences of, hey, how am I going to pay the bills while I'm in school? Where am I going to live? Moving from a big city to another city is, financially very strapping. So there was a lot of consideration, but the second time that I shadowed here, which I was not offered a shadow program at any of the other schools that I looked at, none. I was able to do a tour facility with everybody saying welcome, and when you shadow, you don't just get the smiley faces, you get hands-on, hey, this is how we work, this is real-time, school. And the second time that I came up here, that's what convinced me, I think. Between the staff that was in constant communication with me, not just via email, but phone calls and follow-ups on the financial aid part of it, and how can we help you to come here. It was it was like nothing I had ever experienced before, ever. So between the staff and the chefs that came in and let me, sit in and be a student for a day, the fact that the classroom was not the major part of this school, it's actual lab work. That's what convinced me finally, was this is the school for me.
So how has Escoffier changed your life at this point?
I have more confidence in myself. I knew I could cook, but I didn't realize that I could someday be a chef. I have always just been an at-home kind of person, running a small catering business on the side that, I wanted to explore someday, but never had the courage. And now I have the courage. I know that I'm going to succeed, and I will run my own business. I'll be my own boss and make a living at it.
Oh, that's great. So Julie, would you recommend Escoffier to others?
I would. I have recommended 3 other friends that also had the dream of, going to culinary school, that never thought that they could do it either. One of them starts in May, and hopefully the other 2 will start communicating a little more with the staff here to make it happen. So, yes, I've got 3 friends that I'm finagling to come here. 2 of them are like me, doing, our career changes and are a little bit older than, your normal student. But if I can do it, they say they can do it. I have to say, when I Googled culinary schools in Texas, and all of them came up, and of course I've talked to the other major schools. Some of them were extremely expensive. This one was the most affordable, and that was what really caught my attention. Was y'all are the only school that I found with farm to table. That was a deciding factor as well. I want something other than just you're a student here, and the farm to table is amazing, just amazing. So when it came up on Google as one of the schools and I started investigating it, I was like, wow, that's cool. So y'all did good putting that on the website, and the video that you've got is amazing.
Yeah.
So
one of my favorites.
yeah.
All right.
So.
Well, thank you so much for
Sure.
coming in. Getting referrals is the best compliment that you could give us. So we appreciate you, and we appreciate your hard work, and appreciate you being here.
Absolutely.